Hi everyone, this is the health advisor Natalia, and today I'm gonna tell you about the water that I'm having. This is a coral mine of water. It is a natural water coming from Japan, and actually I'll tell you today about two qualities of that particular water. So it comes in this sachet like this. You just simply need to drop it into the water that you are drinking. It changes the quality of the water when you drop it for the amount of 1.5 liters. And meantime, I'll tell you this story that has happened in 1976. There was a name that entered the Guinness Book of Records, saying that there was a man that lived up to 116 years old, and who has passed away recently. And actually, of course, it provoked a very high interest among the scientists and doctors. And some of them actually decided to go to that particular place and to check everything out themselves. And they were so surprised when they found actually in the area 100 more people who lived for this extended amount of years. And moreover than that, actually, their state of health was so much greater than in many other parts of the world, saying that the level of diabetes as well as level of cancer was extremely low. And then the scientists started actually doing some experiments, some guesses. So what could be the reason of this wonderful health and extended amount of years? The first guess was most probably it was about the food. And it could be because those people were surrounded by the water, by the sea. So, and they had an access to have this fresh seafood all the time. But the thing was that those people actually didn't like seafood as much. They rather preferred pork. So it wasn't the right guess. So the second guess was that most probably those people were doing some particular exercises. But then actually they said no, it's not the right guess, because if it was the case, actually many people all over Japan would have the same situation on their health and the same amount of years to live. And actually they had another guess that maybe it was because of the water. And actually probably it was this, because they could actually see it. It was down their feet. They could see actually that those two islands, Okinawa and Takashima, the place where that man was coming from, is actually covered with this coral sango. And actually scientists already knew the story about that particular coral, that actually it is changing the quality of the water. And yes, and they decided, okay, that was the reason why actually the health is so great. And another thing about the composition of that water was the composition of that coral actually is very similar to the human blood composition. And as well as when people start having this water, it actually changes their it was like the foundation for their future health and amount of years, and long amount of years later on. And then they thought that if actually this water had these particular qualities, so maybe any water actually presented on the market actually would have something similar. And the first water that they were looking at, it was seawater, and it was desalinated water. But then the scientists said no, most likely it shouldn't be this. And the second guess was maybe the water that is taken from the wells, maybe it would have something similar. They said, oh no, it doesn't seem like. And another guess was the water that actually is widely used all over the world. It's the water from the human waste. I cannot say that it's so widely used by the people for drinking purposes, but still there is a small population that actually are using this water actually for drinking reasons, for drinking purpose. So I wouldn't want to be the one who would actually consume this particular water. And then actually the scientists actually thought that most likely filters actually will give this actually quality of the water. And then they've chucked actually filtered water, and they realized that yes, the water is very clean, but at the same time the water is very actually empty. And there are a few qualities of the water that I would like to mention you about today, but I will just mention two qualities of the water. The first quality of the water will be the first. Actually, it's going to be. I will talk about the redox level. Some water can be negatively or positively charged, and depending on this particular negatively or positively charged, we can see how it's gonna react on our body, or actually how our body will react on it. In the folklore stories of many countries, people were saying that there is a dead water and there is a live water. And actually, it's not just the story, folklore stories. Actually, it is the reality for so many people. Because for our particular body, actually, it's really good when the water is negatively charged. And why it is so good? Because that particular water negatively charged actually gives more energy to our body. It's got more electron in it, and actually it's got more hydrogen in it. That's why it's really good for us. And on the other hand, when we are looking at the positively charged water, actually it is mostly everywhere positively charged water. And when people are having this positively charged water, what actually happens? It sort of like takes away the energy from us. It's like an energetic vampire that takes our energy from us. For instance, when we are boiling water, actually its reading becomes plus 400. But for us actually to go into our body, it's necessary for the actually water to be negatively charged. Like this, we are not gonna use this. I think I'm gonna talk about it later on. And quite interesting information for us to think about, that we actually consist on 70% of the water, our bodies. And what sort of water we are having, what the amount of water we are having will actually determine the state of our health in 1, in 5, in 10 years. So it's very important.